It's down 72 now.
So we're here for our post-race interview. This is like a week later, so, but we're here at our other trip for my birthday.
We have traveled a lot lately.
So this is not our home. This is our Airbnb home for tonight.
We are in Blowing Rock, is that right? Is this the town?
North Carolina.
Grandfather Mountain.
Yep. It's beautiful. Never been here, but anyways, don't get off track. Oh, do me.
It's easy to do.
I feel like we should be like, this is Sheldon Cooper's Family Flags. It's awkward. This is our first interview.
So anyways, we're talking about the Yeti 100 Creeper Trail run today, and I did not make it through last Friday. I DNF'd at 63, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So Cindy's got some questions. We've not discussed a whole lot. We have some, we have not some. So,
Okay.
first question.
So, how do you feel after your attempt at 100 miles?
I felt really good. Like 100%, probably by Wednesday or Thursday? On Tuesday, our kids, we coached cross country, and on Tuesday, our kids had a little county meet, and I went out and ran 5 miles just chasing them down. So I felt pretty good. That was the worst thing. I had to DNF because at the top of the mountain, it was cold, it was rainy, it was starting to hail. The wind, it was in the 40s, and I was soaking wet. I had water resistant, not waterproof, which she's already working on that. My gear was not ready for the challenge. My body, I felt pretty good. Was definitely sore the next day, but I felt like I could have continued if I had been dry. So I was kind of surprised at how not bad I was, I guess. I did 100K, but not 100 miles.
My next question was, were you prepared? Did you feel prepared?
Mostly, yeah, I actually did. I did everything that I feel like I could have done given my schedule. Was I in any kind of preparation to win? No. But I feel like I could have finished had it not been the weather that it was.
We had remnants of Hurricane Ian that hit Damascus the same weekend that he had his run. So that's where all the rain and the hail and the wind.
Thursday night, it was beautiful. Saturday, beautiful. Friday night, anything but beautiful. The wind, the rain, it started how many hours in?
You were
Mile.
in Abingdon and it started to sprinkle. And that's mile 33. So by mile 41 at Alvarado, it has started to rain heavier.
And that's when I picked her up
as a pace
for my first pacing job.
So I ran from 41 to 48. And it started to get dark at that point, and it was pouring the rain and cold. The temperature dropped because of the sun went down, and it was probably 47 maybe by that point.
47 miles?
No, 47 degrees.
Yeah.
It was cold, and so yeah.
Yeah, it sucked.
After that,
I changed clothes at 48.
after I dropped you off at Damascus aid station, you know, I just was like, it's gonna be miserable for you.
And it was.
Because it was not fun. Cause I was soaked to the bone just standing there trying to get you change your clothes, change your shoes, change your socks, getting all your stuff that you needed. It was cold.
My mom was like, won't you just quit? And then my little girl, Caitlin, was like, he has determination. There was no way I could quit then. Like, it did cross my mind, but I knew that if I had dropped at 48, I would have been disappointed in myself. At 63, I was disappointed, but I wasn't necessarily disappointed in myself. I mean, it sucked to not finish, but I feel like I did everything I physically could have done given the wetness. If I had been dry, I would have kept going. So
just to let y'all know too, this was his first attempt ever at an actual 100 miles.
yeah, it was my first 100. I'm that guy.
This was our whole experience. Like, we've never done an ultra race before. I mean, he's ran 36 miles before on the Creeper Trail, but there was not a race. It was
just going out for
fun. So this is why we're basically doing this interview, is because this is his first attempt. So I want to figure out, and just if you've ever thought about it.
The Creeper Trail, I found out about the Creeper Trail run. I wanted to do it, and looking at our schedule with everything, I didn't have time to really do a 50 miler or a 50K beforehand. We did the marathon in April, so I felt really good after that. Then that was in April, and then in June we did a 36 mile. I did a 36 mile run. Felt pretty good. 2 days later I was back to running perfect again. So I felt good.
So my next question is, what did you learn?
I overpacked for sure. This little thing is great. It's a battery charger for my cell phone. It's pretty neat because it's a solar powered charger, so you can also recharge it in the sun. But I don't know if you can tell, it's bulky, it's big. It is great because I used that even after the run. I charged my phone probably twice with that, and then after the run I just charged my phone the whole rest of the weekend with that thing, and it still had plenty of charge even on the way home. So that was the biggest thing, not to pack too heavy. I could have gave the charger back up at one point. I had extra water. I didn't need as many bottles of water. All I needed really was one 24 ounce and one Intraformance. That would have got me through. I packed my warm clothes. I should have dropped the first opportunity because it was cold in the morning. And then at mile 17, I could have dropped my boggin, could have dropped my gloves, could have dropped, I think I had a coat in there too, didn't I? I don't know.
I don't remember, but you did.
I had something
the bag
else.
was too heavy, and what I learned is that you always need to be prepared. Like, he needs, if you're going to do this, you need waterproof gear. You need not water resistant, you need waterproof.
Every step after mile, I don't know what, really in the 40s, my gloves were soaked. But I changed at 48 and was completely dry except for my gloves and my jacket. And every step, every time I moved my hands, water just flew out.
Yeah, waterproof gloves, waterproof jacket or poncho. The guy who was winning the race this year, he had a poncho on, and yeah, that would be better than a jacket, because I ran with water resistant jacket. Is that what it is? Rain jacket?
Yeah, ours was water resistant.
So my rain jacket felt like a sauna inside of it, so I didn't wear it very long because it was too hot, and it sticks to you. So the poncho.
But that's the problem with the waterproof. Water can't evaporate out.
The poncho would have been a better idea. But also learning where he needs crew. So, and we need more pacers for him, because
my only pacer was Cindy. Caitlin was gonna pace for us, but literally the day before we left, she fell and broke her arm, and then she had a big old.
She had a sling on.
She had a sling, and every time she moved her arm backwards, it kind of pushed into her elbow, and she was unable to run. And then, of course, the rain, so she couldn't run anyways.
Yeah, so we just need to have a crew, I don't need to be his pacer. I just think he needs to have a crew, designated crew, and then pacers too, because
I would rather her crew than pace.
And that's not because I can't run,
No, because she does a better job crewing.
But his parents went with us, and they were helping out, but I feel more.
It was a lot to ask for them.
Yeah, I feel more comfortable just me doing it and knowing I need to be at more aid stations than just 3. And that's all I was at this time.
Yeah, next time definitely Taylor's Valley, because if I could have met her at Taylor's Valley and got some more clothes.
This is at night.
Yeah, this was at 10:52 because the cutoff was at 10:52, and I rolled in at 10:52, so I was able to continue. Mile, I don't remember, 50. What was it, 53 or something? 53, 54, somewhere through there. And it would have been great to have her there. And then by the time I made it to the top of the mountain at 63, I knew there was no hope. I had a fresh change of clothes coming to me at mile 76, and that was just too far away. 13 miles, it was going to kill me. So, yeah, I would rather have.
He was shaking, frozen.
Oh, yeah, I was
hypothermia was actually a real concern at that point because.
Chattering teeth.
Yeah, even he texted me at 1:30, and I had just dozed off maybe an hour before that, and he had texted that he was done. But he sent me like the saddest picture I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's pretty sad.
So
I was
sad, and because I was like, "Are you sure you're done?" And he sent me a picture. I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure."
So funny story about that. I get up the mountain. I get to the mountain at like I turned my run keeper off at 1:33. So I get to the top of the mountain probably about 1:28 somewhere because I left it on for a couple minutes. I turned it off right before I got in the car. So I'm asking the volunteers, is there any way I can get a ride down the mountain? Because I didn't want to ask her to come out. I didn't want to ask my parents to come out because it's at almost the top of the mountain. And it was just like a downpour. The rain was so heavy and it was starting to hail. I'm like, I don't want to ask her to come out. They're like, well, you need somebody. So I just started asking people. And then this girl goes, well, we have one. I was like, oh, can I be the one? Can I be the one? And she's like, yeah, sure, come on. So it's two girls from Boston. So if you're seeing this, Mandra and Sarah, you're awesome. Still appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I said her name right, Sarah, not Sarah. So it's Serra. Anyways. I'm country, but. Speaking of the devil, our daughter is calling. Just answer real quick. I'll tell my story. So, I get into the car.
Hi. What are you doing?
Is she okay? Hey, we'll call you back in a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Bye, I love you. So I'm getting into the car. So I asked the girl, I'm like, I'm so sorry. Is there any way you can take my jacket off? Because I was exhausted. And I had a big watch on, and that jacket, I couldn't pull over it. So she's like, yeah, sure. So she takes the coat off and throws it in the back. So I'm getting ready to get in the car, and the guy's like, do you want to ride? There's two other guys in the back. And one guy's over here. I didn't pay too much attention, but I noticed he had grocery bags in his lap. I'm like, okay, I guess it's his stuff. And then this other guy sitting there like this. He's looking up at me. He goes, do you want to ride in the middle or do you want me to? I'm like, and this is the back of the seat. I'm like, it doesn't matter to me. I'll sit beside him or I can sit beside the door. I don't care. I would just like to sit down, please. So as soon as the guy says, well, okay, well, I'll just scoot over, he looks up. The guy over here with the grocery bags is hurling like 5 times. Big, intense, like hurl. So the guy looks up at me and is like, I'll sit beside him. I don't care. But he had fallen 10 miles or so back and hurt his back. So he couldn't really easily get out of the car. So it's like, it's all right, I'll get over. So he gets over, and Mandra, the driver, gets out. Like, she was top notch. She took care of the guy's bags and asked him if he needed anything else. And so we all got settled in. So I'm sitting there beside the guy. And the guy's like, well, this is actually better. This is comfortable. I can stay there. And the woman drove so good down the mountain. Like, it was 1:30 in the morning. What time did I get home?
It was 2 something.
It was after about 2:30, I guess, somewhere.
I don't know.
Because we had to stop and let the guy out, who I sat beside with the bag back, because he was going to Abingdon. So I'm sitting there. I have to get out to let the guy with the bag back out. And he gets out, and he was so slow. Now, I wasn't Speedy Gonzalez, but he was so slow. And I step out, and the rain is just as heavy. So it's coming down. I'm getting re-soaked. I don't even have a jacket on at this point. No bogging, because it got tangled up in my jacket. So I'm just standing there in the rain, in the cold, in the wind, while this guy gets out. I mean, I can't say anything because I'm in no better shape than he is. So he gets out finally, and I get back in. And then I realized was putting off a lot of body heat. So I'm literally sitting there shaking like this. It's just so bad, like so cold. It was definitely an experience. But honestly, one of the best of my life. Like top 10 days of my life probably. It's up there. As crazy as it sounds. So then finally I get home, what time? 2:30. She comes outside, she helps me in, but she didn't come all the way out.
No, it was raining and I was asleep.
I texted her, can you please come outside? And she did. She came to the porch.
Because it was pouring the rain and
So,
it was so cold.
The girl got my jacket and everything out of the trunk again, and she's like, oh, good job. And I'm like, thank you so much. So then I shuffle to this little house that we're staying in, which that's our favorite place to stay in Damascus. So we've stayed there 3 or 4 times now, and it's amazing. But there's a few steps and big rocks that you have to step on. I'm just like, oh. So I get in finally, and I asked her to turn the bathroom heater on because it has a really cool heater in the bathroom. It was so nice. And then I was up till 3:30 or so.
Yeah, we were talking, so.
But by the next morning, I woke up at 7 o'clock. Like, boom, I was just wide awake. I beat everybody else up, and I didn't fall back asleep.
Oh, he slept the whole rest of the day. Don't let him.
Well, at 5. What time we go to sleep? 5? 3?
It was before that, because we went and had an early lunch or late lunch, early dinner, and then we were back at the room by 4.
And then I did fall asleep.
Because we went back to the room. We went back to the room early. Because we got up, we went and ate breakfast at the room, and then you lay down, and maybe we took another little nap, and then got up.
When did we go back to Cracker Barrel again?
It was like 12 or 1. Maybe
And after that's when we kind of fell asleep.
Yeah.
And this little Airbnb that we stayed at in downtown Damascus was awful.
It's not the room wasn't awful. It was just
the bed.
Yeah, the bed wasn't comfortable.
The lighting was bad in the kitchen. Like, it was so bad. We took our own hot plate.
To the house that he was talking about earlier is where his parents were staying at.
Yeah, that's the house we normally stay at. But we gave that to my parents.
Yeah, so we stayed at this room that was what I thought was right off of the Creeper Trail. So I was like, it would be really convenient to stay right off the Creeper Trail, but it was probably a quarter mile. No, probably maybe less than a quarter mile from the trail. But it was a 9-minute walk from our room to the aid station in Damascus where I had to meet him a couple times.
Yeah.
And I thought it was closer, so that was inconvenient.
Yeah, the bed. Now, as a mix between nerves and excitement and the worst bed that we've ever laid on. Like, I got, 3 hours of sleep? Probably 3 solid hours of sleep the night before, if that.
Maybe. I know I got up 4.
Like, it was awful. But.
Yeah, it wasn't pleasant.
No.
So, yeah,
Hey, we can share the VRBO that we stay at. I'll put the link of the house that we stay at. So.
Yeah. The house, I would highly recommend that house.
It's a mile off the Creeper Trail, but you can ride there or bike it or run it. Like, it's so nice.
The house is, because it's away.
Yeah. It may be 2 miles from Damascus.
It's so cozy.
Oh, it's our favorite. So.
I mean, not to knock that room. It's just.
I wouldn't say that again.
No, I'm not gonna stay there again. But it might be better for somebody else. But it was not good for us.
Yeah. No.
We like room, and it was not a big room. It was an old house that they turned into
3.
inns.
Oh, and those people above us.
Oh yeah, there was a room above us, and there was 4.
There's 4 women from Knoxville.
And they walked around all day.
I think they walked more than I ran the day before.
Yeah, in that room. It was so loud. Anyways.
So, any more questions?
Will you do it again?
Oh yeah, 100%. So we've already tentatively have next year planned. We're thinking about the Pistol in March, the Three Sisters Ultra in June, and then September hitting the 100 on the Creeper Trail. She has 2 triathlons scheduled, and then,
Potentially.
yes, 2 triathlons scheduled. We have basketball season, we have track season, we have AAU basketball season.
There's a lot.
Yeah, we'll do the Thanksgiving Day 5K at Sevier County, and then the Pigeon Forge half. We're gonna do the 5K version. So that'll round us out. Then next year we always do the Franklin, North Carolina Father's Day run, little Scottish festival. Super cool.
It's the Braveheart 5K.
The Braveheart 5K, and male and female winners get like a broadsword like that big. So I don't know if you can see that big. I don't know where the goes over there.
It's really big. It's an actual sword.
The plan is for both of our daughters to win it. So Emma's gonna win it this year coming up, and Caitlin's gonna win it probably 2 or 3 years. Emma has came in 2nd and 3rd, so hopefully she can pull it off this year. So, any other questions about the? One thing I will say, like you get a lot of cool gear. I'm definitely not a skater. Never gonna be a skater, and I have a skateboard now, but it doesn't have wheels. So I don't know what somebody else call it. Is it wheels or did somebody call them tires or something? I don't know. Whatever they're called, wheels. I don't have. It's not on there, and it's in the wall. But it's pretty cool. The guy gives you a really cool skateboard and all kinds of. You get a hat, and then you get a hat and like stickers and pins and socks. It was a really cool. And this sweatshirt. This is like a really awesome sweatshirt. It's already my favorite. $10 for the sweatshirt. The hat was $5, I think, or 10. I think a hat was 10.
Everything was $10.
This t-shirt,
t-shirt,
area got $10.
Socks, it was all $10. Like if you went to our daughter's, like okay, for example, our oldest daughter has been to state for track and cross country. So if you
every year,
this is Tennessee TWSWA.
Happy, but you'll hear why.
Yeah, but if she were to get a sweatshirt like this,
when she got a sweatshirt like that every year,
and sweatpants, she would always buy sweatpants too. It was at least $50 for just the sweatshirt.
Craziness.
Because it just says TWSWA state championship 2021 or whatever. You know, so yeah.
$10.
To have a $10 sweatshirt, you're like, yeah, I want one.
And it's super comfortable. So
yeah, it's not cheap.
No.
But yeah, it was a fun experience. Definitely learned a lot of what to do, what not to do. So.
Yeah, my body felt fine. I never cramped. I never had any gut issues. I never felt woozy. Never felt weak. My eating was really good. She made me some egg sandwiches. I love egg sandwiches while running. I did find that out.
Apples with salt.
Apples with salt. Apples with salt was a really good one. I had beef jerky. I had graham crackers and gummy bears and bananas.
They had a lot of food too. The aid stations were about 7 to 8 miles apart.
Not all of them. Some was 3. So, well, yeah, somewhere between 3 and.
Depending on.
I guess there was 1 or 2 small ones, maybe.
Most of them were.
They were about 7 miles apart. What's that?
Most of them were a little bit of distance, but
yeah,
they always had food. They always had water. It was, you know, and the people there, the volunteers, everybody, the whole atmosphere was.
It was weird for me to hand my cup to somebody and they take care of it. Like I'm not used to people doing stuff for me.
Usually
that was.
Whenever we do a race, I just. Hand
yeah, like everybody was super awesome. Jason, the promoter, he was great. Like I didn't run into any one person. The runners, it was really cool to do a run like this because it's like you're not. There was a very small percentage of people that were competing, and then it was like everybody else was just running against the course. That's how it felt to me. I mean,
that's how I feel like a lot of ultras are though. It's like you're just competing against yourself.
Yeah, and the terrain.
To do it, to say that I can do this, to push your body to the limit to see how far you can go.
I would like to be competitive in a 100-mile race, but in reality, that's probably never going to happen.
It'll never happen for me. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, don't say never.
Yeah.
So, we were talking earlier how a few years ago I said I would never want to run the distance of a half, and now, ta-da!
Yeah, we were at a Disney. I've done a half marathon. I've done four.
Several.
I've done 4 half marathons. First one I ever did was at the Disney Princess. So our youngest daughter had said, "Mom, how come Daddy didn't do it with you?" I'm like, "Well, at the time he said I will never run that distance.
Had no desire.
I had no desire to
No.
run 13 miles.
Anything more than a 5K.
So I'm like, you're running 63
Yeah.
because you had no desire whenever I started running to run with me."
At that time, I had gotten up to like 270 pounds. So I was probably 255 by this point, coming back down. I'm 220 right now, 225. So
Definitely easier on the joints.
yeah, I definitely don't recommend running at 270. But so how did you like crewing?
I liked it.
How did you like crewing with my parents?
Again, what we talked about before is I just didn't like having to ask them to do things. Cause I
My
just
mom's
felt-
also a worrier.
Yeah, I mean, that's not what bothered me. What bothered me was asking them to do things. Because, I mean, they're parents, they're not in the best of health as it is, so I didn't want to inconvenience them, is how I felt.
Yeah, that's how I felt too.
So, I mean, it was nice having them there because being alone, I know he was having a hard time being alone at some points, and me being alone at some points was hard too because I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I have to be here, he needs this, and not being able to be there at nighttime, I didn't like at all.
Yeah, I did really good being alone about 75% of the time, but there was definitely some miles that sucked. And it was hard to find people to run with that kept your same pace, because inevitably I would be too fast for them, or most often they were too fast for me. So that was kind of hard. I mean, there was a lady who I walked with for a little bit, but then it was very obvious we were going to miss cutoff, so I had to run. There was a couple other people I just couldn't keep up with. They were going away, but I did end up passing them, but they caught me in the last couple miles. By the time at mile 61 and a half, I had looked at my clock and it was like 1, I guess, somewhere. It was 12:50. The cutoff was 12:52, so I knew I wasn't making it. And that's when I just like really felt defeated, and I just started walking. And the trail was water from side to side, mud. Like there was nowhere you could step that wasn't wet. It was a mess. Everything was soaked. I just kind of walked, just finished out the 1.5 miles walking, and I kind of jogged, but I knew I was done. So I just walked. The real crazy thing is those women that passed me again, they said, "Oh yes, we're definitely going. Like when we get to the top, if they don't cut us, we're gonna go." Which they were gonna let us come back down the mountain. We had beat the sweeper, I guess. So we were gonna be able to come back down, but by the time I get back up there with them, they were like, "Oh no, we're done." Like this girl was hovering by the heater, so I took my hat off, I took my boggin off, I put it on the heater to kind of dry it a little bit, because at that point it was like 99% certain. And then wind came through, and it like to cut my ears open. Like I was done. That's when it ticked over to 100. And I was like, I'm done, 100% done. I put my boggin back on, wet and all, like because it was better to have a wet boggin than to have that wind hit my ears.
It was like 40 degrees up there.
Yeah, it was awful.
That may not seem cold, but it's cold whenever you're
Soaking wet.
soaking wet.
Like every layer was wet.
Pouring the rain.
But honestly, had a great time.
Yeah. But yeah, I would like to have a bigger crew with us too. That's pacers and crew. So.
The downside is we don't know a lot of runners that
yeah, but
are
we know people that can help us crew.
crew, yes, but pacers no.
Pacer, yeah. I mean, if we had a bigger crew, then I could trust them to meet, and I could pace, and so they could they could pace, or they could crew and meet us places, and I could pace too. So.
We have 4 tentative pacers next year, and 2 are 11, and 1 is 18, and then Jennifer.
I'm sure we can find more.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some research and find somebody. It'd be fun. So if you're watching this and you want to help crew and help pace, let me know. So late September 2023.
If you get in.
I'll get in. I'm certain.
It's
So it's a lottery, huh?
It's a lottery.
It's a lottery, but I don't know. I'm sure I could text the guy, Jason, to be like, hey, can I please pay you money to do your race? Because it was really surprising to me the amount of did not starts.
Which I think the weather had a lot to do with that because it was already chilly that day anyway.
But there's always a decent amount, like 10 or 20% that don't show up.
And I don't get that.
I don't either.
I know the weather probably had a lot to do with this race, but just to think about, if you pay that much money to be a part of a race, and you
Like, I really liked the promoter. I really did.
Yeah.
But I don't want to just give him money for no reason. I didn't like
Well,
it
it also
much.
takes away from the chance what if somebody.
Oh yeah, then
did
somebody
want
else,
to do it,
yeah, they didn't
and
get in.
and you paid your money and didn't show up.
Yeah, I don't get that. Which I know stuff happens. Somebody probably died or something.
Well, that's true, but there was 399 people who had registered for this race.
And 230 or
239
250.
or something like that actually showed up. So
That's crazy.
there can't be that many people that had something happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know, it's just me. I wouldn't waste my money if I.
You sign up on January 1st and you don't run until September, so maybe people were like,
I
yeah,
could've
January
done
1st, I
it.
got all year.
That's true. I
And
guess,
then-
but
You know, August rolls around, they haven't trained, and
I feel like he should have this thing where people can maybe exchange or like, hey, I found somebody to take my race.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, I guess technically you could.
we sell on eBay.
Well, just,
Yeti racing.
yeah, but like, I never really showed my ID to anybody, I don't think, did I?
Oh,
So I could have went up there and been like, hey, I'm Bob. So,
or Bob could have taken it. Like, hey, I'm me.
yeah, true. But I wouldn't get my spot up.
No,
Unless I had
would-
to.
I mean, unless you had something serious come up, like a serious health issue or something like that.
Yeah.
Or
My first ultra that we were going to do was actually the Firewater. We were going to split a 50K.
what is it?
Firewater in Marable. We were going to split a 50K, and then our daughter made it to state in cross country. Same weekend, same day, same time.
We'll
So
never be able to do that until she's out of
yeah,
middle school.
at least the other KYA program. Which, if you're around the Knoxville area, Knoxville Youth Athletics has a great cross country program. Unless you want to do the Firewater Ultra, and your kid's good at running.
Mhm.
But
That was unexpected.
yeah, that was her first year, and she definitely surprised us, and she made it back to state again this year, so she's doing great. Way faster than both of us.
That's off topic.
It is off topic, but she's already wanting to do ultras, which is amazing.
Not 100 miles though.
She wants to do 100 miles. She asked me to.
Her, not me. You look at me.
No, she wants to do. Sorry, she wants to do a 100 miler. Caitlin,
She-
our youngest,
She does not want to do 100 miles.
she wants to do a 50K.
Maybe.
She does.
We'll see.
All right. Well, anything else?
Nope. See you guys.
See ya. That was fun.
Oh my god, it wasn't recording.